Hey, what's good, YouTube? It is your boy Rick B, man, and it's our first ever video, man. If you guys don't know, we have a TikTok channel where we've been, keeping up with the NFL, the NBA, college football, and things like that, man. And we are pretty much halfway done with the NFL regular season, so we have a general idea of how good teams are, how bad teams are, average, and all those things. And we're about 2/3 way of the college season. As we know, a lot of college players, top-ranked players, they don't play in their bowl games, and I gotta have a little mock draft, so let's get straight into it. Now, the one thing I forgot to add is that this is the first round only, and I will be doing like some team needs, and I can't really project what teams are going to do in the free agency market. Like, I just can't, but I'm just going to see just what I would do if I'm the GM of these 32 teams. So with all that being said, all right, let me get officially into it. And with the first pick in the 2024 NFL draft, the New England Patriots, they got a lot of team needs, okay? They need O-line help. They need some receiver help for Drake May. Defense, they look pretty good, but we're going to get them a O-lineman and Will Campbell. I do think that they're going to add weapons through the offseason and maybe in the later rounds, but they need that offensive line help, like, immediately for Drake May. All right, man, with the second overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars, again, they need some O-line help. They need some defense help. They need everything help. But I do think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take a gamble and use Travis Hunter, not only at wide receiver, but also at DB, man. So we're going to get Travis Hunter back in Florida to the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, man, going to the New Orleans Saints. They've been struggling big time, man, and they got a lot of areas to address, sorry, but I do think they're going to go defense on their defensive line front. Cam Jordan's getting old. You have some young bright pieces, and why not build off that foundation? They can go with Mason Graham, add him with Brian Brees. That is a crazy interior duo, but we're going to go with the edge rusher from the University of Penn State University, Abdul Carter, Mr. Versatility. Even if he doesn't do good at the edge, he is still a quality linebacker. All right, man, the Carolina Panthers, they were the worst team for the first ever weeks, and then they just started tacking on games. They just beat the Saints, and they even competed with the Bengals, which is insane. But again, they have a lot of issues to address, and I can't address all of them with just one draft pick. But in my personal opinion, I do think they're going to go with a weapon and probably address their D-line or their O-line with free agencies. So they're going to get T-Mac from the University of Arizona, pair him up with Bryce Young, and that is hopefully a crazy 1-2 duo. Alrighty, the Cleveland Browns. I do think after this season, they're not going to play, they're never going to play Deshaun Watson ever again. And I do think they're going to move on from the NFL trade deadline is still going on at this moment, but I do think they're going to hot sell everybody, and they're going to just restart. And I do think they're going to get the Heisman winner, Cam Ward, to be their future starting quarterback. So Cam Ward is going to the Browns. Going to the Raiders, man. Hey, the Raiders, they just traded Adams. What's his name? Tyree Wilson from a couple years ago. He really hasn't been panning out as well. They got a lot of issues, and they need to get a quarterback to just to transcend their organization. And what's not a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders, man? He's all about the media. It's in Vegas. It's marketable and things like that. Shedeur Sanders going to the Raiders, I do think that is a very possible chance. The New York Giants, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Not surprised. I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm gonna crap on them regardless. But man, I do think they're gonna go with a tackle. So we're going to our tackles. You got Kelvin Banks. I'm not really good at judging O-lineman. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. So we're gonna go with the highest rated tackle, Kelvin Banks Jr. Or they can get a quarterback, but both Sanders and Ward are gone. I don't think Jalen Milroe is an NFL top 5, top 10 pick quarterback. So Kelvin Banks Jr. it is. All right, man, going to the Miami Dolphins, man. They've been struggling. Obviously, Tua wasn't playing for a good majority of the season, and apparently they need some guard and tackle help and some cornerback help. I don't watch the Dolphins, so we're going to go off that. So we're going to go with another higher rated lineman, and it seems like it is Cameron Williams. What do you guys think about that pick? Again, I don't really watch linemen, and I don't really watch the Dolphins, so we're going to get 2 Texas tackles back to back. Insane work. Hey man, the Tennessee Titans had that crazy win over the Patriots, man. Even though Drake May, he had that, like, that was insane play. You know, at the very end, he damn near got sacked like twice, threw it for a touchdown, and I do think they're going to replace him. They're going to replace Will Levis with a quarterback, a actual quarterback, and I don't think Jalen Monroe, he's not the answer. Again, he's not the answer, but I do think guys like Carson Beck, Gwen Ewers, one of those two. So we're going to go with Gwen Ewers from the University of Texas. So that's 3 Texas players back to back to back. The New York Jets, man. What a disappointment, man. Like, midway through the season, they just have not panned out the way they should. You know, A-Rod ain't looking like A-Rod, but we ain't going to talk about that too much, man. We got to build, we got to get them a draft pick. And this is a little bit of a stretch, but in theory, it sounds good, man. Will Johnson and Sauce Gardner. I love that duo. That sounds like an insane duo to play on Madden, play on MUT, or college football, cut or whatever, man. So we're going to go with Will Johnson and Sauce Gardner. That's a nasty pair. Hey, the Dallas Cowboys, bro. They got a lot of issues. They got to pay that boy Micah. Dak, he's out for a while. So they're probably going to have a higher draft pick than 11. Micah Parsons were 11. Ooh la la. But no, that's a truck passing by. Sorry. But no, man. We're going to get them a running back, Ashton Jeanty. I think it's time they just have a official, well-balanced offense. And you getting probably the Heisman winner runner-up in Ashton Jeanty. Like, that's not a bad selection at 11 overall. So Ashton Jeanty is going to the Cowboys. All right, man. So now we go to Indy. That's where I'm from, Indianapolis, bruh. The Colts season has not been looking too good. AR benched himself, and Joe Flacco, after 1 or 2 games, he's looking like a 40-year-old man. Okay, it's time for you to sit down. But no, I do think they're going to get a quarterback later on in the draft, maybe a 2nd or 3rd round pick, depending on where they finish in the draft order and things like that. But with this overall pick, at 12, they do need some defensive back help. Then Malachi Starks from Georgia is a perfect fit for him, or pick for him. He's a perfect pick for him, and also Mason Graham, because DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Latu, I don't know how to say his name, but is DeForest Buckner. I've heard some rumors about the Colts trading him, but I do think they're going to get Malachi Starks if they have number 12 and if he's available. All right, man, the Cincinnati Bengals, man, look, that man Mason Graham, look, if he ever falls to the Bengals, that is a sensational pick. The Bengals, they need defense help badly, real bad, but they also need receiver help because they can't pay both Chase and Higgins. Is it Higgins? Yeah, Chase and Higgins. They're both number 1 receivers. I do think they're going to address the D line and probably, let one of them, really Higgins, go. But Mason Graham is going to the Bengals. The Seattle Seahawks, bruh. All right, so I don't watch the Seahawks, but it says they need guard and tackle, so we're going to go to the O-line. And you know what? Let's go with a guard. Nah, that's 50 overall pick. We're not getting Tyler Booker. That's an insult. Nah. We're gonna go best available player, bro. No, not Jalen Monroe, not Kendrick Grant, Luther Burden III, bro. Going to Seattle. Jackson Smith-Njigba. You got Tyler Lockett still. You got DK. Why not add Luther? Whew, Luther. The LA Rams, man. They're turning their season around very quickly. It is a complete 180. It looks like they're going to finish bottom 5 and just trade Matthew Stafford for Sam Darnold and all these other things. But I do think they're going to get a corner, and they need cornerback help immediately. Tre'Davious White did not pan out this season, and they need to find that Jalen Ramsey-esque. So I'm not saying these guys will be Jalen Ramsey, but they need to find a star corner. And Benjamin Morrison, best corner available. I've seen a little bit of Notre Dame, so he looks pretty good to me. Benjamin Morrison. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, they don't need a tight end. K. Otten has been balling out, so we're going to disregard that. They do need an edge. They do need a corner, and we're going to go actually with a wide receiver, because I do think Baker Mayfield, he is your long-term answer, but I don't think Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, they're getting older, and you need to support Baker Mayfield. So they're going to get either Isaiah Bond, Emeka, not saying his last name, I'm going to butcher it, so they're going to get Isaiah Bond from Texas. Now, if we're keeping count, that's about, I think, 3 or 4, maybe 5 Texas players. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 Texas players. Texas, hey, y'all loaded this year, bruh. Y'all loaded. Okay, but anyways, we're going to the Niners. The Niners, I don't watch the Niners. Well, I watch them versus the Cowboys, and they just killed the Cowboys. And says they need guard and tackle help and cornerback help. Let's go with a corner. Actually, let's go with a receiver, because IU just tore his ACL, and Debo, he ain't looking too good. No, let's go with a corner. I can't make up my mind. Actually, let's go with defensive line help, because their defensive line group is always crazy, and Kenneth Grant is the 7th overall player in ranking, and why not go get him? All right, the Chicago Bears, they need some O-line help, okay? Because Caleb Williams, he's back there running for his life, especially like early in the season. He was back there getting pressure every single play, and we're gonna go with the best available O-lineman, and it's the guy from Minnesota. I'm not saying his name. Don't ask me. Hopefully, he's a good pick, a good tackle for him. All right, man. The Denver Broncos, they need wide receiver help. That is factual. They need tight end help. That is also factual. And as you can see, we're going to get the best available receiver, the guy from Ohio State. Again, I'm not going to say his last name because I'm going to butcher it. Okay, don't ask me. Arizona Cardinals, man. I thought they were looking hot. They were looking on fire versus the Rams. Marvin Harrison had like 2 touchdowns. They damn near beat the Bills in week 1 and things like that, but it just didn't pan out. I mean, they're still looking good. Their season's not over with. There's a very possible chance that they can win the NFC West. But they need some tackle help. They need some D-line help. And we're going to add either Nick Thornton, LT Overton, or Mykel Williams. I'm a big Georgia fan, so I'm going to go with Mykel. He's one of the best run-supporting defensive linemen in this year's draft. So we got to get my boy Mykel going to Arizona. All right, man, the LA Chargers, man. Whew, this is going to be tough, man. This is going to be tough. Because honestly, I do think they need another receiver. At the same time, they can get an edge rusher, because Khalil Mack, he's unking them age. He's not going to be 2016, 17, 18 Mack forever. I do think, this is like the LeBron effect. Like, this is not normal. Him being 33, 34 and doing all this. But anyways, man, the best player available is going to be James Pierce. James Pierce is going to the Chargers. I mean, he's not ranked 37. If you've seen him play recently, James Pierce is a top 5 pick, or at least a top 5 defensive line. So James Pierce Jr. is going to the Chargers. All right, the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins and them boys, they looking drippy. Boy. Let me tell you, man. The Atlanta Falcons, they still need some defensive line help, some edge rushing help. Grady Jarrett, he's getting old, man. He's getting old. And Deion Walker from the University of Kentucky, I do think will be a solid pickup for him. So got that boy Deion from Kentucky. Green Bay Packers, alrighty. The Green Bay Packers. Okay. This is gonna be tough. I don't watch all 32 teams, but I do think that they can get a corner. Again, this video, as I'm recording, it's before the trade deadline, so they may trade for another corner. Jair Alexander, he is a phenomenal corner, but he can't do it all by himself. At the same time, let's get him a tackle, because that boy Jordan Love, he does need protection at times. So Josh Simmons from Ohio State, best tackle available. He's going to Green Bay. Baltimore Ravens, man. Okay, so this is going to be probably one of my hardest picks. Marlon Humphrey, I think this is his last year with his guarantees, so they can cut him after this year. And Nate Wiggins, solid corner, but outside of that, they don't really have anybody. Like, they've been like dead last, like bottom 3, bottom 5 passing defense. So honestly, they need some sort of defensive back. Kevin Winston, he is that Swiss Army knife for Penn State. He's been playing corner, he's been playing nickelback, he's been playing linebacker, safety, he's been playing everything. But Siobhan Revo, don't know how to say his last name, or Denzel Burke, I think they're going to take one of those guys, like an actual pure corner. And Denzel, he ain't looking the best. At the same time, the Ravens, they do need offensive line help, because Lamar Jackson be running for his life. But we're going to go with Siobhan Revo. Hopefully I said his name correctly, from East Carolina, because they need cornerback help and immensely. But here's the curveball. They always get the best player available. So I'm just going to be EDC, Eric DeCosta today, and they're going to get Nick Sorensen from Texas A&M. All right, man. The Houston Texans. Okay, the Houston Texans. They need a running back, and I'm not saying badly, but why not get Judkins, Ollie Gordon? The Oklahoma State offensive line over there has not been good, and I do think his numbers are a little bit misconstrued. Henderson, he really him and Judkins a nice 1-2 combo, but I'm gonna get that man Ollie Gordon. I love using him on NCAAs. It's a little bit of a bias. Ollie Gordon the second. Alrighty, my Philadelphia Eagles. I hate this team with a passion. Nah, I'm just playing. But look, I'm an Eagles fan. We need linebacker help. We need edge help because that man over there, Bryce Huff, yeah, he ain't been panning out. And I'm a big Georgia fan also, and I love Jalon Walker. So I do think when it's all said and done, Jalon Walker, he's going to be a first-round pick. Okay, so Jalon Walker, the edge, the linebacker, sort of like Micah Parsons, he's coming to Philly. Jalon Walker. Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, I do think this is obvious. They need wide receiver help. I don't know who most of these dudes are. Well, I know some of these dudes, but we're going to get them the best available wide receiver, and that is Elick. I'm not going to say his name, actually. I'm not going to say his name. The best wide receiver. Minnesota Vikings, man. Look, man, they've been balling out. They do need cornerback help because Stephon Gilmore, he's unking them age, and they really don't have no solid corner outside of Byron Murphy. Is that his name? I think so. But we're going to get the guy from East Carolina who I had going to Baltimore, but he fell to the Vikings in that Brian Flores defense. So, hey, we got that boy. Washington Commanders, man. Now, again, this video is recorded before the NFL trade deadline, and I do think they need a edge rusher. So they may trade for one today, but if not, let's say, for instance, they don't. They get one in the NFL draft. They're going to get LT Overton. He's like more of a defensive line. He can be edge, he can be a 3-tech, sometimes at the shade. Jack Sayer, from Ohio State. Even though him and JT, they're a little bit inconsistent, things like that. I do think it's gonna be him or LT. So it may be Jack because he's an actual pure edge rusher, and they may want that because they got Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. So Jack Sayer is going to the Commanders. Alrighty, the Buffalo Bills, man. They need some defensive line help. That's what it says. And I've watched them a few times, and I'll be honest, they probably do. So LT Overton, again, the D line, I do think he'll be a great pickup. The Detroit Lions. Okay. The Detroit Lions, they can get Kevin Winston, even though they got 1,001, 10 billion DBs over there. They're all balling out. They can get that man Jahad Campbell. I do think he's a really good linebacker. Danny Stunsman. I've watched Oklahoma like twice, so they really don't need none of those guys. It says they need guard and center help, so we're gonna go with the best available O lineman. So that's what we're gonna do. Get Wyatt Millen from West Virginia. And finally, the Kansas City Chiefs. I do think they're going to get Jalen Milroe. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is that good. So I think Jalen Milroe going to the Chiefs is a phenomenal pickup because Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's not a long-term solution. He's okay, I guess. But if they don't want to go with him, Colston Loveland, he's way better than Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, he's okay. He's lost like 1,000 steps since 2017. But no, jokes aside, okay, I'm dead serious. Okay, jokes aside, they could take another swing at another wide receiver, and they could do that, or they could build off that defense, get a corner because their cornerback helps sometimes. Steve Spags, he loves to blitz. And sometimes like their cornerbacks don't hold up as well. It's a toss up. Kevin Winston, no, not Kevin Winston. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let's get Denzel Burke. Fine, Denzel Burke. And with all that being said, man, this is our NFL first round mock draft. We got Will Campbell going first to the New England Patriots. We got Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. That's probably going to be a reach. T-Mac going to the Panthers. Cam Moore going to the Browns. And finally, we got Denzel Burke going to the Chiefs. We got the Ravens getting another edge, and we're getting cornerback help or offensive line help because that was best available. James Pierce falling to the Chargers. That seems wild, but at the same time, teams do love drafting offense. Like we just seen like 13, 14 straight offensive players. But anyways, man, if you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, bro. And we are out. Peace.